What's up guys, Lifting here. In Prophecy it is now possible to upgrade your ghetto low-level Doomfletch to Doomfletch Prism. The main difference to notice here is that instead of giving 110% increased damage of a random element, it now gives 110% increased damage of each element, effectively providing a whopping 330% increased elemental damage scaled off your physical damage. So, in a sense it works similar to how Facebreakers currently work, where you stack a ton of flat physical damage, then try to scale that physical damage via the skill tree and support gems of course, and you end up with the sick amount of physical damage for your Facebreakers, only that in this case with Doomfletch Prism, it is elemental damage you gain. And to test the damage, I equipped the bow on one of my old Ranger crit fist builds and had it into a 44% increased monster life tier 14 shrine map, and the gear on this character can be much better optimized, and it is important to note here that this character has no ascendancy points allocated either, so even though this setup 1 or 2 shots most monsters, it simply could do much better. But I guess this only serves to prove that this bow is pretty sick. Now, since the Prism bow, along with the original Doomfletch, can get up to 7% base crit, it also makes it a somewhat viable option as an elemental crit build, which means you will be constantly shocking, igniting and freezing if you decide to do so. This could potentially make the Inquisitor Ascendancy class absolutely insane with this bow. Not only does this Ascendancy class grant higher crit chance and multiplier via Righteous Providence, but Inevitable Judgment would also allow us to bypass enemy elemental resistances, which obviously would be a massive DPS boost. Unfortunately, the tooltip doesn't reflect the elemental damage gained, so yeah, try to ignore that, you can't really use the tooltip here. Another important thing to note is that you can equip this bow as soon as you reach level 40. At that point you will be one-shotting most monsters and even some bosses if you have a bit flat physical damage on your gear, so it makes for a really sick leveling weapon as well. And as you can see, I'm still using this bow in a tier 14 plus 44 monster life red map, so it has the potential to carry you all the way. And similar to the Facebreaker gloves, this bow also greatly benefits from using Maginords, Fog Shade, getting high flat physical roll rings and amulets, and of course even something like Abysses. All of these items would help to significantly increase the damage of the build. That said, in this footage I'm using none of them except for jewelry with flat fizz on it, and as you can see it does perfectly fine without. That said, I would recommend getting something like Drill Neck for obvious reasons such as high flat physical damage and projectile damage scaled off your pierce chains. It is absolutely beastly for this bow. I really would have loved to show off the DPS on an Inquisitor, as that would have been significantly stronger when it comes to DPS at least, but unfortunately I don't have a leveled Inquisitor, so you'll have to try and imagine that. Now, a potential concern with using this bow is that due to your massive elemental damage output, Reflect becomes a serious threat, and running Vault Pact is most likely going to be necessary for most builds, as you otherwise most likely will one-shot yourself to reflected damage eventually. So yeah, be careful with that if you decide to not go with Vault Pact. Anyway, there are 2 ways to obtain this bow. Number 1 is to simply go to PoE Trade and search for it. They currently go for 3 to 10 Chaos Orbs depending on rolls. The other and cheaper way is to get yourself the regular or original Doomfletch bow, then hope you'll get lucky and get the Ancient Doom Prophecy, which foretells that if you kill Vol Oversoul while wielding the regular Doomfletch, it will be upgraded to Doomfletch Prism. There you go. So with all said and done, you have the potential here to get yourself a cheap bow that not only will make your leveling experience a breeze, but it will also carry you all the way into the game. So if you're good with going elemental damage, you don't have to worry about getting those really expensive physical damage bows. You don't have to get a unique expensive bow or anything like that. You can simply use this. But before we end, I need to thank Helltiger, one of my awesome Twitch viewers, for bringing this to my attention. He's currently using this bow in a build of his own and trucking through endgame content with it, and he wanted to share just how good it was with the community, so he told me about it. Thank you very much, Helltiger. Now guys, make sure to grab yourself one of these bows before they explode in price. Subscribe if you want to see more Path of Exile content. Thank you for watching, and bros, do you even? Anyway, I know some of you guys know that feeling out there. So look what I woke up to today. This is kind of nice, right?
This is what happens when you have a girlfriend who just really cares about birthdays.